We continued our Magic City tour and stopped off at the Moxy Hotel in South Beach to sit down with Alan Drummond. After growing up in Mexico City, Alan had a dream of bringing authentic Mexican cuisine around the world, with the first stop being a little place called Wynwood. Alan put Wynwood on the map by opening Coyo, a fresh Mexican street food experience. He then brought Miami its first ever food hall, 1-800-LUCKY, and now spearheads all food and beverage efforts at the Oasis Wynwood and the Moxy Hotel in South Beach. Tonight we learn how Alan pursued his childhood dream and is now expanding around the globe, one taco at a time. The entrepreneurial spirit is the cornerstone of the American dream, a beacon to all willing to weave their story into the fabric of our history. I'm E13, and this is From the Founder. Alan Drummond, the Coyo Taco Man himself.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
So let's go back to your roots. Let's go back to Mexico. Is it Mexico City?
Yes. I was born in a place called Coyoacan in Mexico City. It's the Wynwood of Mexico City.
So okay, I could see what attracted you to Wynwood now.
Exactly. The food and everything all draws from when I grew up in Mexico. My favorite restaurants, my favorite parts of town. I took the whole team, the chef and everyone, to my different parts of town.
Oh, you brought them to Mexico?
Brought them to Mexico, so they got inspired, they could feel it. My managers, everyone came with us. And the idea is to try to not imitate, but to try to expand and show, the authentic Mexican culture.
When you're growing up in Mexico, did anything specific turn you on to hospitality?
Yes, I think that it's in Mexican blood to be hospitable. I think that it's part of our culture. So it was always an interest for me to host people, to have people in my house, to cook, to make drinks. So I would say that a lot of my inspiration drew from growing up in Mexico.
So after you grew up in Mexico, you then went to study in Switzerland.
Yes, so I went to La Roche. It's a hospitality school. So
top 3 hospitality schools in the world.
Yes, exactly. My original goal was to bring Mexican food, Mexican drinks, and Mexican culture to different parts of the world.
Somewhere else out of Mexico.
Out of Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Right, which you did.
Yep.
So you didn't just study in Switzerland, you lived in how many different countries?
10 different countries.
10 different countries.
So thanks to studying hospitality, I managed to live in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi. I lived in Belgium. I lived in London, in the Caribbean,
and
in New York.
When you're living in these places, you're actually working in hospitality in each of these cities.
Yes, all those times I was working in hotels. So different jobs. I was either a concierge, I was a waiter, I was a manager, I was a housekeeper. So all of these places I was gaining knowledge in hospitality, but at the same time living there and learning about the culture.
Now, at what point do you say, okay, I want to stop traveling and I'm ready to start something on my own?
That's an interesting question. So this happened when I was in the Middle East.
Okay.
At the time I was working for Starwood. I was actually the HR director for the St. Regis in Abu Dhabi.
Cool.
I was the youngest director in the region, and I suddenly realized that all the other people around me were kind of stuck in this corporate mindset, kind of in the corporate wheel.
Right.
And I just told myself, if I don't make a move right now, I'm gonna be stuck in this forever. Breaking free from corporate is very hard because of everything that they give you, housing, trips, the kind of comfort of having that, paycheck every month. But the situation helped me decide that if I'm gonna try something, I need to try it now. I set out to open a taqueria in the Middle East. So when I was gonna do this is when the Arab Spring hit, and it just wasn't a good time for investment. Right. And it was out of chance. I came to Miami for a concert. I came to visit Sven, a good friend of mine that I used to work with in the Caribbean. And he said, why don't we do the taqueria here? And I said, I'm sure there's a lot of taquerias. I'm sure the market's been overwhelmed. And lo and behold, in Miami, there really wasn't a good Mexican restaurant.
You happened to be sleeping by a friend in Miami.
On his couch.
Just because you were here for a concert?
Yeah.
You didn't think, oh, you know, Miami's a place where I think that it's going to succeed?
No, to be frank with you, before I came here, I had a very bad impression of Miami.
What was
I had
it?
this idea of the kind of plastic Miami where there's a lot of surgery and people are here to show off and buy bottles.
You thought it was LA?
I thought I thought it was LA. And Sven, luckily, I was on his couch. He showed me the other side of Miami. So he
Right.
took me to Wynwood, and I saw that there was some culture here, that you didn't have to be in the spotlight. He showed me this really nice part of Miami, and that's where we set our roots in Wynwood.
In Wynwood. And this is before Wynwood was Wynwood.
This is before Wynwood was Wynwood.
You were one of the guys that put Wynwood on the map.
Yes, I would say that with Panther Coffee, us, and Wood, the three of us kind of really started it.
Why did you pick that part?
It was this kind of sketchy neighborhood, but we had the feeling that something was going to come there, and I think it was the best decision we ever made.
So you opened up this taqueria in Wynwood
Yeah, 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Are you thinking about scaling, or at that point you're just like, okay, this is what I want to do. I have my taqueria. I'm bringing the Mexican culture here, and I'm okay.
I think it was always in the back of my head that we wanted to scale, but I didn't think it was possible. It sounded like it was a pipe dream. I don't come from a lot of money. My father's a biologist. We didn't have a lot of contacts, so we were dreaming big, but at this time when I did the financial run, I was happy if we were gonna have 100 people through the door every day, and I could get a return on investment, with $100,000. But we opened the doors and there were 3,000 people a day. We crushed all of the numbers that we thought we were gonna do, and it just kind of took us by surprise.
Wow. You felt like the authentic Mexican cuisine was missing.
Absolutely. We bring our nixtamal from Mexico, and we grind it ourselves. And even though we have 3,000 people in that first location, every single tortilla is pressed by hand and made by hand.
So now you have 12 different Coyo tacos all around the world, 5 on the way, so you'll have 17 by the end of this year. You have a bunch in Miami, but you managed to get into Europe. Where are all these locations?
Sure. So we have 2 locations in Dominican Republic. We have a Coyo Taco in Panama. And then in Portugal, we have 2 in Lisbon, and we have 1 in Porto. Then we also have a location in Paris, in France.
And how many people do you employ throughout these locations?
So direct employees, 480.
Nice. How did you pick which countries you wanted to open in?
We never picked the countries. Actually, what we picked is the people.
Got it. It must feel awesome to have restaurants in this building. You have this rooftop. What a location.
Absolutely. I never choose a location, I choose a partner. And Mitch was the right guy. He had the vision.
Guys.
He believed in us and said, go wild with a budget. Build your mezcal tree, build whatever you want to build.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot.
That's awesome.
We opened the first mezcaleria in Miami in the back of Coyo. So Coyo is a restaurant, but we have this lounge hidden in the back, and we've had everyone perform there. It's become a kind of very knowledgeable thing here. We've had Travis Scott perform, we've had Diplo perform, Major Lazer, Dwayne Wade celebrated his birthday party there. It's kind of a big deal, even if it's a small footprint. And
what attracts them to come?
I think the fact that we're not really interested at that stage in profit. What we wanted to do was preserve the culture. I think those are the sort of things that attracted. That's why Barack Obama came to Coyo.
Barack Obama came to Coyo.
Yeah. The moment that he came in and it got filmed, we got, I think, 80 million views on one of these videos.
Wow.
So he really helped put Coyo on the map.
That's huge. Let's move on to 1-800
Lucky?
Lucky.
Yeah. So, and this was, in my eyes, the birth of the first food hall in Miami. So we brought 9 different concepts, and it worked.
So the idea was to create a food hall, which was the first food hall in Miami.
Yeah, we didn't even think of creating a food hall. That's what it got coined to be after. What we had is this big space. And then we found out later that Chelsea Market and all these places have kind of coined this term food hall. But we never set out to do a food hall.
Right. So none of these big franchise places.
Yeah, never. That would turn us into a food court.
No, you're
and
not
we're an incubator.
This is not a mall.
Exactly. What we want is for people, and it's Barry Sternlich, in his keynote, he said, if you guys want to know the future of hospitality, go to 1-800-LUCKY. It's a mob scene.
So how does it feel to be able to have that dream and vision that you had in the beginning, that you just said, I'm going to take Mexican food, authentic, and you're going to bring it outside of Mexico? And not only did you do it, you did it 12 times.
Thank you. It feels incredible. I mean, it's something that I feel very lucky. I think that I was very lucky. It's a very proud thing to walk in, to our location in Paris and to see French people, eating real authentic Mexican food and liking it.
How does it feel to be one of the people that made Wynwood what it is today?
It feels great. It's something that I think was a bit of being in the right place at the right time, but I think that it's one of the neighborhoods that still hasn't, there's no Starbucks there, there's no Denny's there, it still hasn't been exploited, so we're very proud of it.
So now you established Coyo's Tacos, you had 12 locations, 5 more opening up this year.
Yeah.
You have 1-800-LUCKY, the first food hall in Miami. Mm-hmm. But you're not done there.
No.
There's a lot more.
Yes. Our next project that came was Mitch Hodberg, an amazing person who's been a legend here in Miami in the hotels, developing with Ian Schrager and different people, approached us and said, I'm building this hotel in South Beach. Would you be interested to partner with me and come up with 6 new concepts and put them in there? This has been really, really popular. We opened this a month and a half ago, and it's just non-stop. Hey, Brandy.
Hey, Brandon.
Rubio punch and a piña colada.
These 6 new concepts are here in the Moxy Hotel, on the beach, prime South Beach. It doesn't get better than this.
It was an amazing partnership.
You're a very low-key guy.
Yes.
But you do a lot.
Thank you. Yeah.
How is that, that way of carrying yourself have helped you or been a factor of your success?
I think that it's a little different than other people. Everyone that works with me would tell you that if I'm in Coyo tonight, and I will be there tonight, you wouldn't know that I'm the owner or that I'm there. I'm dressed the way that I'm dressed right now at the side of the bar drinking a beer. Very few people, I think, are aware that I own Lucky and Coyo and all of these different things, and it's something that I've liked. I don't really like the scene and being known.
What advice would you give to someone starting out?
I think that you create your own luck. So if you put yourself in front of hundreds of situations, one of them is going to work out. So my advice would always be that your dream, unfortunately, people around you will try to tell you that it's not going to work, and it's because their dreams didn't work, but you shouldn't let parents, friends, and people around you dissuade you. That you're going to have 2 types of people in your life, in my eyes. Some people are going to be proud of what you're accomplishing, and some people are going to be jealous. And my advice would be to try to find those red flags of people that are not encouraging you and try to ignore them.
Right. Alan, thanks for being here. And I've learned a lot from you over the past few hours. I just want to thank you.
Thank you very much. I've never done anything like this before, so really, really appreciate it.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I really, really enjoyed it.